Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review, going up the German tech tree destroyer line. Today we're in a match on a map that I don't remember the name of, in the German Tier 4 tech tree destroyer T-22. Alright, the map is called Straight. We are down tier in the T-22, and it is a capture the base match. So I know you're wondering, how can this be a video? Like, is this really the best way to showcase the T-22's abilities? And what I mean by that is, generally speaking, when you're doing a destroyer video, you want a domination match, because that's where you can capture cap circles and really utilize kind of the skill set of the destroyer to the best of its ability. But even though we're down here, even though it's a capture of the base match, even though the T-22, I don't think a lot of people consider it very strong, we're going to have a really nice match today doing T-22 things. Now, it's up to you what commander you put in here, of course, as always, but I put in the torpedo commander. Ordinarily, I would have blue Furiora behind the helm. Today, in this match, we've got Maximilian von Spee. And that way, if you don't want to pay to play this game, you can see what von Spee can do behind the wheel of the T-22. Alright, I arbitrarily chose to go this way. There are some ships over here. We're going to engage them. T-22 is an all-rounder, like the V-170 before it and the V-25, but I think these ships have a small bias towards torpedoes, and what I mean by that is there are other better gunboats at the tier, so trying to out-gunboat a gunboat is going to result in you being killed. So as a result, I build these more for torpedoes with really good guns so I can outgun a torpedo boat and torpedo a gunboat. Alright, so we're moving out here. We are spotted by a Bayern. Can't believe I saw that without my glasses. Must be a good day today. Although I do have them if I think we need them. Alright, launched another set of torpedoes at the Bayern. You know, don't mess with German secondaries, folks. They're not playing around. He's already knocked off a really good chunk of our hit points. But we hit him with a torpedo and another torpedo, maybe 3 torpedoes in total. Anyway, he's having a bad day. We're going to turn and smoke up just to protect ourselves from his secondary guns. He's engaged with another ship, a cruiser, who is just boldly steaming right at him. I don't really recommend that, but cruiser is going to put a bunch of torpedoes in there for a dev strike, and the first kill for our team. So good job, teammate. Alright, enemy destroyer, a Visby over there. We're hoping he just kind of sneaks out here and we can engage him from smoke. That is not going to happen. So we're going to circle and turn to starboard here. And our torpedoes miss because he ran away. And he will continue to run away. And that's okay. Alright, looking at the mini-map, it does look like there are several ships over on this side of the map, including the hated aircraft carrier. We will deal with him later on. Alright, is that a Koenig? All sorts of torpedoes in the water. Blue team torpedoes going at the Koenig. Couple of torpedo strikes there for our teammate. Off to our left, the carrier base aircraft are moving in. We're going to shoot at the Koenig and keep an eye on the Visby while we're backing and turning. You know, one thing I will mention here is we shoot down an airplane. We already have a handful of airplanes shot down. It's not Mutsuki levels of AA, but the T-22 does have pretty good AA at the tier. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not overpowered AA, but it's not helpless AA. Many destroyers are helpless at this level of the game. But this ship isn't. Mutsuki, I think, top dog. All right, look at that. This cruiser came out here. Let's check out this armor piercing, folks. Couple of Citadel hits there. Couple more Citadel hits there. Runs into the torpedoes. Dev strike. We would have finished him off either way. Power of the guns. Don't sleep on the guns. And I know. I said I built it as a torpedo boat, but right there you can see, even for these relatively low caliber German guns, you can still do work on those broadside cruisers. At this tier, they don't have a lot of armor, and he paid the price. All right, moving out here, we see the Ryujo, and we're going after the Ryujo. Just trying to get him in torpedo range. Checking our torpedo range. I believe that's at 7.5 kilometers. If my memory serves me properly, just trying to get him in range here to shoot the torpedoes. But I do have armor piercing loaded, and at some point, I am going to engage him with the armor piercing. Alright, so now that we got him in gun range, more planes being shot down, we are going to torp out in a spread pattern, and then we're going to engage the Ryujo with these guns. I'm going to say I think they're 105s. Now, this isn't as good as that cruiser in terms of the results, but it is not terrible. He looks like he's at an angle to us, so I'm just trying to be careful. We are taking damage off screen. There's another Citadel hit. And I thought those shots were pretty well aimed, but another Citadel, couple of Citadel hits. Another Citadel hit, and he eats a torpedo, much like the cruiser. So again, good penetration on the armor piercing, good damage on the armor piercing. Don't hesitate to use it against a soft skin target. All right, Fuso over here. We are pretty damaged. Only a couple thousand and change hit points left. We did drop spot, and so in a minute here, I think we're going to turn and torp at the Fuso into his intended path of travel. And I know you see this a lot in my videos, where I accrue a lot of damage early on. When you accrue a lot of damage, just remember you can't get spotted after that. Okay, so I mean, you know, we're spotted. What do? I brake, I put up a smoke screen. All right, and I'm going to use this opportunity while he's spotted to farm a little bit of damage with these guns. I switched to high explosive. As you can see, we set him on fire. And that's all I really wanted. I just want to set him on fire. Maybe he burns that damage con, eats a torpedo, gets a permaflood. Well, he ate 2 torpedoes and he got a permaflood. And he's still spotted by a teammate. So we're just going to keep farming damage with this high explosive. And this is really how you do it in a capture the base match. You don't have to capture the other cap circle to really tear it up here. We got a high caliber medal, and I want to say we have just over 100,000 damage. I can barely read the numbers. Come on, Wargaming, make the numbers easier to read. I got a disability here. ADA, get after them. All right, so now we're going to go into the cap circle because we want to force the enemy team to come back to the cap. And so, checking my gun range there, that is what we're going to do. And I know this is going to be kind of boring, so while we're waiting for the other ships to show up, the T-22 is a nice ship. If you want to put Erich By and all these tech tree ships, I certainly wouldn't blame you. I just don't like putting the same commander in every single ship. I like running these with the torpedo commander simply because I like a different flavor to all the ships. You know, the top tier ships, I put Erich By on those. I got some good matches coming up as we go up this tech tree. Everything in the can except for the tier 8, which I already did a review of, but it wasn't a review because it was fresh out of the box with no upgrades or anything like that. So, yeah, I hope you stay tuned for all those. I honestly don't know what other content I'm going to put up this update. I will try to do my average player's guide to destroyering. So if you haven't started destroyering, or you have and maybe you think your game needs a little bit of improvement, it's somewhat possible that might be a small amount of help for you. Anyway, again, I have all the tech tree lines in playlists if I've done videos on them on my page, so don't hesitate to check those out. And of course, you can always share, like, subscribe. All right, here comes the Iron Duke. Iron Dookie. We're going to hit him with a torpedo. And at this point, I'm like, who cares? It's the end of the match. He gets killed by somebody else anyway. So we did not take any fire there. Other enemy ship is a New Mexico. And we're just going to maneuver to get a little bit closer before we light them up with our guns. And basically that's what we're going to do. Move into a different position, get these guns on target, farm damage to increase our scoreboard. You know, that's what you do. And as you can see, we are farming a little bit of damage here, but I am not expecting on getting the kill, simply because that's been the story of this match. And as predicted, we did not get the kill. Oh yes, the milestones. Here we are on the victory screen. Devastating strike medal, high caliber medal, 117,460 total damage. We had 8 torpedo strikes, shot down 7 airplanes, 9 hits to Citadel, and 2 big kills. We ended up with 260,700 silver and 3888 ship XP and commander XP in the T-22. Are we going to go to the team result? There we are at the top of the board. 2592 base XP, 2 medals, 2 big kills. Do not be afraid of being down tier in the T-22. Play your cards right. You will end up right where I did at the top of the board. A GG to the Omaha, but we're number 1. All right, here in the port. Aiming system mod 1, and the ship is fully upgraded. Taking a look at the loadout, 2 charges of the smoke generator, 2 charges of the engine boost. We were running the common battle booster for speed. Got the cool wave permanent camouflage. I don't really care for it, but I decided to put it on in this match. And the early adopter flag. 11,300 hit points with our build. Got those 4 105mm guns, 9.8 kilometer firing range, 4.4 second reload, 17.1 second turn time. HE shells 12,000 max damage with a 5% fire chance. AP shells 2,200 max damage. 2 triple tube launchers reload in just under 1 minute. Maximum range 7.5 kilometers at 66 knots. The detectability is 1,300 meters. Max damage, did I skip over this? 13,700. All right, you can see your main battery is dual purpose, and that is why you've got pretty good AA rating. Didn't have any problem protecting ourselves in that match against the enemy carrier. Maximum speed, 37 knots, 540 meter turning circle, 2.9 second rudder shift time. And the concealment, 4.7 on the surface, 2.8 from the air, 2 kilometers even when firing from smoke. Here's the Commander Maximilian von Spee, base trait, Misty Morning, reduce the smoke generator cooldown. We've discussed that previously. We're going to old school, Swirsky and Bai as our commanders. Subsurface Venture in row 1, Look at Me Now in row 2. Perceptive in row 3. Destroyer Be Destroyed in row 4. Legendary Skills Unstoppable. Totally unchanged from the last video. Anyway, there's another look at that camo. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for watching.